We have here the brand new 2026 Specialized S-Works Epic 8 in a size medium. Cages, SWAT tool, SWAT bag installed, garment mount on here, weighing in at 10.21 kgs, not touching. 22 pounds, 8 ounces with all the batteries as well for everything. These are the brand new World Cup wheels. Stay tuned after the video where Freehub buys on testing these things. That's crazy light for a stock bike. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with another video, and today we have the brand new 2026 S-Works Epic 8 here in a size medium. This bike retails for $14,500, and with those new tariffs, there is a $500 plus additional, so it comes out to $15,000 that you have to go ahead and pay to Specialized, which then they pay to the government. But this is one of the lightest weight out of the box bicycles I've seen in a very long time. It being 10.21 kgs with 2 cages. You have literally your SWAT tool as well that has all your utilities on there. Inside here we have the SWAT storage bag as well and a garment mount included. There are no pedals on here, but this is also including the 4 batteries on there. A very capable bike, and that is because of the fact that it has on here, this is different from last year, the brand new Revolve World Cup wheel set. These are the brand new wheels that they went ahead and released. They are a sub 1,000 gram wheel set, weighing in at 998 grams. The spokes are carbon fibered, along with the nipples being, or the ends of them being a titanium fixture to that carbon fiber. So this wheel set is crazy light. They have 28.5 millimeter internal rim widths on there for better tire mounting and better tire pressures and everything like that you can go ahead and do. And also with that, they have a little mini hook on there as well. So a hooked wheel set for mountain biking coming in at sub 1,000 grams, which is mind-blowing. First time I've seen Specialized use carbon fiber spokes on a wheel set, so pretty cool there. But yeah, so they went ahead and changed this, and also with that weight, they also put on a brand new RockShox dropper that just released earlier on this year, which it makes it a little bit more efficient. They're able to go ahead and make it a little bit lighter. They worked around it to be a little bit better of a stanchion here as well, so you don't get that crazy, that sag that goes into there. So the whole entire bike is a much better bike. But yeah, I mean, 22 pounds for a stock bike is crazy. I mean, you could easily get this thing much lighter. It is set up tubeless, as you guys are seeing this configuration. But if you're a weight weenie, I mean, why not start here? And this is a pretty crazy paint job as well. This is called their Fiery Red. So you got to think that this paint adds some good amount of weight on there as well. But very, very cool bike. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all the details. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. This one is sold, but there are more available, if you guys were wondering. So starting off with the front of the handlebar, they have on here their own Revolve integrated one-piece bar and stem. This is a full carbon fiber handlebar. That is I believe a 70 or 80 mil on here. And then it goes out to about a 780, and you can cut down on the width on here as well. With this bike, they also have on here the brand new SRAM Motive brakes. It's a 4-piston brake, and they're using mineral oil inside of there as well, their own SRAM mineral oil in there. So coming along with that heavy, or that very lightweight, you have a 4-piston brake system on here with a 180 rotor in the front and a 160 in the rear. The reason why they're rocking with a 180 is because of the travel is a 120 millimeter fork on here, and that's all it takes. So there's no adapters on here, so you can only run a 180 on there. I've heard good and bad feedback. A lot of people in Florida, we don't need the 180, and we also don't need a 4-piston brake on here, which is, you can definitely lighten it up probably with going to a different brake. But I'm sure everyone else in the country or in the world that actually has mountains probably will enjoy this better stopping power brake on here. With the shifting system as well, you have the SRAM XX1 transmission kit. So it's a 1 in the front, 12 in the rear, wireless system shifting. You have up and down buttons right here for shifting, and then over on this side you have your dropper access post as well, which controls your up and down. With the bike, it's fully kitted out with a wireless suspension system, their RockShox or SRAM flight attendant on here. So you have a battery in the front, the battery in the rear. You can adjust it if you wanted to. You can put this into a manual mode where you can press this button right here. You can change it from open pedal to lock, or you can put it in like their AI mode, where it's a smart feature where when you're riding the bicycle, if you stand up to sprint, it locks out the shocks. If you go over some bumpy terrain, it puts it into more of a pedal system. Or if you want to go over some crazy features or crazy drops, it will open up into a more relaxed system as well. And you can adjust it. There's a ton of different things you can do inside the SRAM app that you can put into press a button if you want to put into like a lockout mode completely if you're going across a cross country or a fire road and you want to get some speed out of it. There's a ton of different options you can do inside of the app itself there. The cables are ran semi-internal. This rear brake runs right here, goes into the headset. The bad thing about this is that you do have to go ahead and disconnect your brake hose to change out your headset bearings. The good thing about it is it can look pretty clean when running the cables pretty tight. You do have the integrated garment mount that comes up here as well. And then going down to the shock, this is their RockShox SID Ultimate in a 120mm configuration, again with the flight attendant here. Very lightweight shock, performs amazing. Really been happy with how they've been performing. We've been putting these shocks on like a Pinarello, the Scotts. We sold a couple Scott Spark RC Ultimates as well with the suspension setup. The AI mode is something crazy. It's one of those things just like electronic shifting. People have the remote lockouts and like, oh, I don't need electronic suspension, just another battery we have to charge. Once you get on it and ride it and experience it, how many different modes it cycles through to make it a more efficient ride is absolutely insane. So it's a really nice feature to have that automatic or smart mode feature for your RockShox on there. Going down to the wheels, like I mentioned before, these are the Revolve Control World Cups. These are brand new wheel set that just came out by Specialized, sub 1,000 grams, carbon fiber spokes, titanium bits at the end of them where they go ahead and mount to. It's a Revolve hub, but the internals on here are DT Swiss 180 ceramic bearings inside there as well. And that comes equipped with a 15 by 110 through axle boost setup on here. Tires are rocking with is a Fast Track 29 by 2.35 and the Flex Light tire. And they are set up tubeless already. Again, like I said, you could probably go to a lighter tire if you really care that much. Depending on what kind of riding style you're doing, you have that ability to do so. For the rotors, it's a 180mm SRAM rotor with the, again, the SRAM Motive Ultimate disc brake caliper there. And again, that's a 4-piston, so that's a lot of braking power for this cross-country bike. Over the years, we've seen the cross-country bikes go from a 100 to the front and 90 in the rear, 100, 100, 110, 100. Now to the 120, 120 we're seeing now. Mainly this is currently for pros because the World Tour courses now are much more techy. There's much more obstacles going on, and it's something that they're definitely exploring a little bit more with having more travel, being able to go at features a little bit more speed, being able to go into corners a little bit easier, and you having the suspension to go through it with confidence. So less travel, just like wider tires are a big thing. Less travel, people used to think it was faster, but now we're realizing that if you have more travel, you can go at features with a little bit more speed, a little bit more confidence to go ahead and go over those. They do have on here with the brand new Epics. Yes, that is dog shit right there. I don't know who the fuck walks their dog and just shits in a parking spot, but whatever. What the fuck, dude? Just like pick up. The hell? Yes, they do also have on here the stopper for the headset, so that way you're not getting any more bar scratches, which is always a nice feature. Make sure if you are buying these bikes that your store does this correctly. There's a little 3mm bolt right here. Tighten that up, and that way it doesn't move and it looks clean right there. You do have on here bottle cage that comes included, carbon fiber, bottle cage that comes included, carbon fiber, and then also the SWAT tool, like I said, it's a 456, a T25, I believe a Phillips head, and a flathead on there. And then you have on here the SWAT Storage 4.0, which is a really nice feature for mountain bikes. You can put inside of here all your necessities of what you want. Little lever opens up, you got a little SWAT storage bag inside there. You can put like a CO2, a tube, nutrition, whatever you want to put inside there, you can fit, which is always nice. So that way you're not carrying it on your person or yourself. And then it just kind of closes right back up, just like so, nice and snug. For the rear shock, it is the SID Lux Ultimate in a 120mm configuration attached with the flight attendant as well. And then you have a carbon fiber yoke that attaches to the frame. And then the flip chip situation right here for the high and low settings that you can go ahead. And when changing that flip, it will adjust the bottom bracket height as long with the fork pitch front and rear. So forgive me, I do not remember what they come in stock setting. I think they come in low setting, but putting to a high setting, we'll go ahead and then raise that BB and also bring in the fork pitch. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I did that wrong. Fact Carbon 12M for their S-Works. Everything else is going to be their 10M on there. Really nice internally routed cables for that rear brake hose. You literally shove a brake hose in the back it goes right through here and pops right out the front, which is always nice. Really, really cool. The S-Works models are the only models to get the carbon fiber yoke, so that's another weight savings right there as well. Going down to the crank, they have on here the SRAM XX1, I'm sorry, the SRAM XX transmission and the SL dub configuration. It comes equipped with the Quark power meter and a 34-tooth chainring. For a medium, they give you, I think, 170? What does that say? 170 millimeter crank arms, which is great. You're seeing more and more people go to shorter crank arms nowadays. Makes sense for mountain biking. Less crank arms you have, less chance you're going to go ahead and strike for a pedal strike on the actual rocks or gravel. Nice little bash guard on the bottom here as well. You don't want to damage your beautiful S-Works paint. And then you have an MRP chain guide protection, so that way if you are riding through some crazy stuff and you have some chain flop, it's not going to pop off and cause you to have a mechanical while racing or just leisurely riding around your local trails. Going to the back, we have a nice little bash guard right here that's rubber to go ahead and help with chain slap. They also did include, this is a pre-production bike, so it has a chain guard right here as well to stop from hitting this seat stay, which is always nice as well. Going to the back here, we have a 1052-tooth 12-speed rear cassette along with the XX transmission rear derailleur. And this does have the magic wheel in here, so if you were to get a stick caught inside this pulley wheel can continue to move while this stick stays lodged in there, so that way you do not break your derailleur and it does not break anything on your bike either. This whole entire rear derailleur is replaceable. This cage pops off pretty easily. These pieces are replaceable. This piece is replaceable. So yes, it's a very super light piece of equipment, but it is fully functional and able to be swapped out. It is mounted by a UDH derailleur that goes directly onto the frame, so there is no more derailleur hanger. You don't have to worry about bent derailleur hangers when traveling or hitting a rock. It's always going to shift properly. There's no limit screw adjustments. It's just the micro adjustments you have on here. Comes equipped with the SRAM XX transmission chain as well. Rear wheel is the exact same as the front, the Revolve Control World Cup with the carbon fiber spokes. And then for the rear wheel, it is a Air Track 29 by 2.35, again in the Flex Light configuration to make it a little bit lighter. But you can see the tread pattern's a little bit different. Not as much meat in the middle of the tires, whereas this has a little bit more grip for the front, so that way you can really dig in that front tire going into corners, which is always nice. And then going to the back, it's a 160 millimeter rotor on here for the rear, along with those SRAM Motive Ultimate 4-piston brake calipers on there as well. And then last but not least, we're going to the, got a nice little Epic logo right there, to the brand new RockShox Reverb seat post. Axis battery right here, it sits in the front, so that way people are saying, the rep said that they're having these issues, but I didn't really see it. This battery used to be located on the back of this, so they said that whenever they were going ahead and doing crazy amount of shock movements, that sometimes, depending on the slack, you could hit the rear battery on the back of the wheel. Maybe it depends on a different bike brand, but I've never seen that personally, or maybe it's just South Florida because of the fact that we don't have a massive drops here. But they did a better placement for the battery. They said that it's much lighter, that the shock actuation is, I'm sorry, the seat post actuation is much smoother. And also, like I said, you don't have that to worry about that squishy feeling that you'll get on your RockShox, where you can kind of pull it up like a suction post there. The bike does come equipped with a specialized S-Works Power Mirror 143 saddle, carbon fiber rails, carbon fiber body, $450 saddle right there. And yes, that is, in detail, the brand new 2026 Specialized S-Works Epic in a size medium, $14,500, $500 tariff on top of there, 10.21 kgs, and I think it was like 21 pounds and some change. But a beautiful looking bike. If you want an all-out race bike, this is it. It also comes in a blue color, so keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for that Freehub bike sound test. All right, here comes the Freehub bike sound test on this Revolve Control World Cup rear wheel right here. It's pretty quiet, it has a bunch of grease in there, but and you can hear it when I was pedaling it. The shock went into lock mode because I was getting up to higher speeds. All right, guys, we can do this video. So you guys.